Welcome friends to Akshar Education Hub. I, Dr. Samir N. Parekh from SS Agrawal College of Commerce and Management, welcome you to this channel. In this video, we are going to talk about the cross-cultural communication, which is a part of your syllabus for TY students SEM 5 in written and spoken communication. Before we start the video on cross-cultural communication, I kindly request you to like this video, share this video, and subscribe this YouTube channel for more videos on your syllabus topics. And please watch this video till end to know better about the cross-cultural communication, which will be very important for your syllabus. Dear students, we have understood in the previous videos that in this semester, the questions will be set on the skill base, on the basis of the skills that you have learned. So it becomes very important for us to know the skills and understand them properly to answer the questions, because not only 10 marks but nearly 20 marks are dependent on the skills. So in this video, we will be learning the cross-cultural communication. First of all, before we learn about the cross-cultural communication, try to know what is culture. Culture is a group which shapes person's value and identity. It's a group which decides an individual's value and identity, and it is formed on different bases. Culture may be formed on the basis of race, ethnicity, gender, class and religion, country of origin, geographic region. So this is all responsible. These all things are responsible for defining a culture. Culture is a group of people that shapes person's identity on the basis of their value. There are 6 fundamental patterns of cultural differences. Why we have different cultures? There are 6 reasons. Because of the communication style. For example, we live in Gujarat, and if you change the parts of Gujarat, for example, from South Gujarat, you try to move to Ahmedabad, their communication style is different. When you move to the North Gujarat, their communication style would be different. If you go to Kutch, that region might have a different communication style. So that also defines the culture. Then different attitude towards conflicts, how people look at the conflicts, that defines that culture. Approaches in completing task. If you're given a task and how you approach that task, how you complete that task, that is also important to decide about your culture. Decision making style. Your decision making defines the different culture. Attitude towards disclosure, whatever the comments, whatever the statements that you make, and that is also defines your culture. An approach towards knowing, how you are eager to know, that defines your culture. Now, what is a cross-cultural communication? Cross-cultural communication is a field of study which looks at how people from differing cultural backgrounds communicate. If different cultural people from different culture, they get together, then how do they communicate with each other? In similar and different ways among themselves? Are they communicating similarly, or they are somewhat different? Fine. And how they endeavor to communicate across the culture. So how they communicate with the people of the other culture, that decides the cross-cultural communication. it is important. Cross-cultural communication is important to companies due to the growth of global business, technology, and internet. We are living in a global situation, global communication system, global business system. In that terms, if you are not aware about the cross-cultural communication, it becomes difficult for you to deal with people of the other country, other region, other area, other language. Understand how people from different cultures speak, communicate, and perceive the world around them. हर एक का एक नजरिया है, उस नजरिए को हमें समझना है, उसे हम क्रॉस कल्चरल कम्युनिकेशन बोलेंगे. Why is it important for any organization? Because cross-cultural communication can bring business opportunities. It creates job opportunities for yourself. It is important because we are living in the era of globalization. If you know how to communicate cross-culturally, you can share your views and ideas with other people. You can improve your talent if you know cross-cultural communication, and you will be able to understand the diverse market. जो अलग अलग मार्केट है उसको आप समझ पाएंगे. Why what is cross-cultural conflicts in workplace? Why it arises? It arises because of difference in value and norms of behavior from different culture. People of one culture behaves in a very different or an awkward manner with the people of other culture, and that creates cultural conflicts. So this situation creates misunderstanding, and that lead to the conflict. What are these different situations? How it happens? Misunderstanding or conflict between different nationalities. People of different nationalities, they behave with one another in a very different way. For example, people living in the own country, and if they find anyone from the other country, foreign country, they behave with them differently. Okay, between different nationalities, different religious, or different ethnic groups, because your workplace will be crowded with different kinds of people, and it's going to happen that you may not be able to adjust yourself with almost everyone at your workplace. So that would arouse the problem in cross-cultural communication. Cultural ignorance and insensitivity. If you are not aware of the culture of the other people, and if you are not sensitive to the culture of other people, it would lead to a conflict. Lack of awareness of social lifestyle and practices. We may not be familiar with the different lifestyle of the different culture. That can arise conflict. Miscommunication and misinterpretation. Sometimes what we say and what people would understand are going to be different. That may arise a conflict, and for that you know that what you speak is mean very clear to almost everyone. Perception of illness and treatment. How people treat one another, that difference. Now, blocks to cultural communication. Why we cannot communicate with the people of other culture? What are the barriers to cross-cultural communication? First is ethnocentrism. Ethnocentrism means you are unable to accept other cultures' worldview. You cannot accept the cultures of other people, other countries, other region, and you think that my way is the best way. No, we need to accept that every culture has something to learn. Second is discrimination. Discrimination means treatment to individual due to minority status and actual and perceived. We discriminate people on their racial, educational, genderal background. No. Okay. So you shouldn't do this. When people think that we just aren't equipped to serve people like that, हम ऐसे लोगों की मदद क्यों करें? We are not meant for that. This is a barrier in cross-cultural communication. You shouldn't have any discrimination regarding caste, creed, religion, region, ethnic group. No. Stereotyping. When you cannot communicate with people of other culture because you generalize everything. That person is always like that because he or she belongs to personal, some kind of community, some kind of region, some kind of area. No. It shouldn't be that. Don't stereotype because people living in same area may have different mindset. For example, it is said, सब लोग ऐसे बोलते हैं कि अहमदाबादी people are they are miser. It's not true to almost every Ahmedabadi. So we cannot make any generalized statement. Then cultural blindness. Cultural blindness means differences are ignored. You don't want to look at those differences. You don't want to accept that culture. You don't want to look at that culture. We think that there is no need to worry about a person's culture. No, that shouldn't be the thinking. Whenever you're working, you must know the culture and value system of almost each and every colleague or an employee. Then cultural imposition. Believe that everyone should conform to majority. Everyone should behave in a particular way. No, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't impose your culture to everyone around you or the majority around you. Okay. The last is tone difference. Formal tone change becomes embracing and off-putting in some culture. So your tone matters a lot. How can you improve this cross-cultural communication? First, overcome ethnocentrism. Ethnocentrism એટલે શું છે? મને ક્યાં સમજા? Inability to accept other cultures' worldview. You should be able to accept all the cultures. Recognizing cultural variation. You should be able to recognize that what is the difference in your culture and the culture of other people. Learn about culture. You should learn about the culture of people who are working with you. Their dressing sense, their greeting sense, their meeting, how they communicate. You should know this. Remove language barrier. This is very important. That you should come to a common language. If person of two different region working together, for example, someone who belongs to the northern part of India may not be aware of Gujarati, and you may not be familiar with his local dialect, then you should come to a common language in which you can communicate. Help others to adapt to our culture. Help other people to know your culture. Write and speak clearly. Whatever you write, whatever you speak, whatever you communicate clearly. Don't communicate in a way that creates some kind of problem for other people. Improve communication skill. Tips for effective cross-cultural communication. If you want to develop a cross-cultural communication, sometimes you need to slow down yourself to match the pace with other people. You should avoid negativity or negative questions around you. Take turns, means you need to bend down, you need to understand what other people believe. You can write it down what you don't understand, where you are finding difference. You should write them down. Be supportive to other people. Okay, check meanings. Whatever you speak, check meanings. Avoid slang. Don't use your slang language, and you should maintain the etiquettes. These are the things which will help you to learn about the cross-cultural communication. I hope this video would be useful for you in your examination. Thank you very much for watching this video. Have a good day.